That's 817-328-1922 or online at mylowback.com.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM. KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio. I'm Lisa Lacera. As the Senate continues its series of votes on health care, Republicans have enough votes to repeal the 40% excise tax on high-cost employer health care plans, the so-called Cadillac plans. A vote on skinny repeal expected at 2 in the morning. Incoming White House Communications Director Anthony Scaramucci ripping into Chief of Staff Reince Priebus in a profanity-filled rant published in The New Yorker, accusing Priebus of leaking information about a private White House dinner the president had with current and former Fox News employees.
At the podium last Friday, Scaramucci claimed that they were brothers. They have fights sometimes. It gets messy, but deep down, they deeply like each other. At the time, we reported that a lot of other people in the building behind me did not believe that they got along. And in fact, it is becoming more and more clear that that is the case.
Fox's Ed Henry, Fox News. We report, you decide.
This is 660 AM, The Answer.
This is Dan Proft for townhall.com. When you think about quality K-12 schools that put kids on a path to being successful, independent adults, do you think of gender-inclusive toolkits, opposition to federal law enforcement, and support for the impeachment of the president? If you do not, you probably were not at the National Education Association's annual meeting where the aforementioned matters were included on its 159-point new business agenda. In worldwide rankings, U.S. high school students do not make the top 20 in either science or reading and have dropped to 35th in math. The NEA put forward 159 new business items in Area 1 dealing with student performance, classroom instruction, or fiduciary responsibility. The NEA has affiliates in all 50 states. They take over school districts, subordinate intellectual development to political indoctrination, and purchase legislators who fund it all on your dime and at your kid's expense. So when the NEA tells you that their business is making your kid a sentinel of the welfare state, you should believe them, and maybe you should show up for a school board meeting too. I'm Dan Proft.
Hey, it's Mark Davis with great news from my friends at Viascan of Las Colinas. They are continuing their 16th anniversary celebration. They just don't want it to end. Well, look, 16 years running of saving lives, I can understand the appeal. And the appeal to you is that you get the $595 price, the 2001 door opening price for the body scan and heart scan put together. Either one of these is thousands at local hospitals. But back in 2001, Viascan said, let's make it affordable. Preventive healthcare that's affordable. A heart scan that will find plaques and blockages so people don't have heart attacks. A body scan that'll find little tiny cancers when they're small and treatable instead of when they're later on inoperable, metastasizing, all of this. So let's get that heart scan and body scan put together for you at 2001 prices. $595 for the heart scan and the body scan put together at Viascan of Las Colinas. 972-739-2840 or just Google Viascan. Go when you feel good. Viascan of Las Colinas. 972-739-2840 or just Google Viascan.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business. So make sure that they create a positive impression with ReputationDefender.com. What the internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with ReputationDefender.com. Call 800-827-5948 now. That's 800-827-5948 for your free reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with ReputationDefender.com. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-827-5948 to learn more. 800-827-5948. That's 800-827-5948. Or visit ReputationDefender.com.
Warning. If you've recently declared bankruptcy, you're going to want to cover your ears because there's an alternative to bankruptcy and it could be better than you'd ever think possible. But if you've already declared bankruptcy and have missed this opportunity, you'll want to cover your ears now. Here it is. Right now, the company that has resolved more credit card debt than anyone in the U.S. may be able to settle your debt too. You could resolve your debt with one low monthly program payment. If you call right now and qualify, Freedom Debt Relief will show you how low your monthly program payment could be for free. Call now. 1-800-600-1637. That's 1-800-600-1637. If you're struggling with debt, this could be your answer. And the bigger your debt, the more money you could save. To find out for free how much of your hard-earned money Freedom Debt Relief could help you save, call now. 1-800-600-1637. 1-800-600-1637. 1-800-600-1637.
Ever since Big Tobacco was sued for deceiving millions of Americans with misleading ads and bogus scientific claims, ordinary Americans have been paying the price in insurance costs, health care, and loss of friends and loved ones. And now, Big Tobacco must pay. Over 25 years ago, these tobacco companies agreed to a master settlement agreement where a minimum of $206 billion was to be awarded to 46 state municipalities. These billions are being used to back interest-bearing investment vehicles by states who are receiving that settlement money from Big Tobacco. Savvy investors have been taking advantage of these investments to get virtually guaranteed income, and now you can find out how to get your share. Visit TobaccoMasterPayments.com. Money Map Press, an independent financial publisher, and editor Keith Fitzgerald have created a research presentation on these programs that you can attend free. Visit TobaccoMasterPayments.com for more information and to view the presentation. Visit TobaccoMasterPayments.com. That's TobaccoMasterPayments.com.
Right now at the Home Depot, Ortho Bug Be Gone 32-ounce concentrate, ready to spray, or 10-pound bag is your choice, 2 for just $10. There's no magic to making bugs disappear, but there is Bug Be Gone. It'll knock out over 100 types of insects for fewer pests in your lawn and more money in your pocket. Start your own disappearing act with Ortho Bug Be Gone. Your choice, 2 for just $10. Only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Valid through August 2nd while supplies last, U.S. only.
Saying I don't know is no longer acceptable. This is 660 AM, The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is The Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759.
right. You want a state-of-the-art solution for your home, and they've got it. Abacus Foundation Repair, Millennium Composite Pilings, the only DFW foundation repair contractor that has this advanced system. And here's something they want you to know. They have an A+ from the Better Business Bureau and a lifetime warranty insured by a $2 million products and services policy per project. $2 million backing up their work. You can be 100% certain your foundation will be repaired right the first time. So get in touch, 972-406-9000. Call the right company first. Abacus Foundation Repair. Count on them. Get it? AbacusFoundationRepair.com, 972-406-9000.
You are about to hear from Dr. Douglas Howard.
After 20 years and tens of thousands of success stories, Balance of Nature is still the only pure whole food supplement available. Balance of Nature has served more than 500 million servings of fruits and vegetables. Don't accept imitations, copies, or substitutions. Our success stories are unique to Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. You'll know you have the real thing when you open the bottles and see, smell, and taste real produce.
It is worth every penny I pay because they really have made such a difference in my life. It is making me feel a whole lot better.
Even my doctor thought it was a good product.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you for free. Call now for details.
Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code 660AM.
If you're a CPAP user, soap and water cleaning may leave harmful bacteria, viruses, and mold that can make you sick. That alone will keep you up at night. Until now, SoClean.com is the world's first and only automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. SoClean kills 99.9% of all CPAP germs without soap, water, harsh chemicals, or even equipment disassembly. And now you can try it risk-free for 30 days. Call 1-800-953-4545.
SoClean changed the CPAP experience for the better. My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean's revolutionary design makes it easy to clean your CPAP and protect you against CPAP-related illnesses. Plus, SoClean works with all popular CPAP devices to clean them in minutes. It really is that easy. Don't risk your health. Call SoClean.com now to try it risk-free for 30 days. Call 1-800-953-4545. This offer won't last. Call now. 800-953-4545. 800-953-4545.
Acme Home Insurance.
Yes, I'd like to make a claim.
What are you wanting to claim, sir?
My air conditioner broke down.
Sorry, but your home insurance doesn't cover air conditioner breakdowns.
So what do you cover?
Home damage from things like earthquakes, volcanoes, a zombie apocalypse.
A zombie apocalypse? But that'll never happen.
But if it did, you'd be covered, sir.
But not my air conditioner?
I'm afraid not.
But his air conditioner could have been covered with a home warranty from American Home Shield, plus major components of 20 other home systems and appliances, like his electrical system, plumbing, refrigerator, and more. For valuable free information, call 1-800-400-5602. Homeowners insurance can cover what might happen.
Zombies are coming!
But a home warranty helps cover what will happen.
Now the dryer won't work.
Be sure with the Shield. American Home Shield. For valuable free information, call 1-800-400-400.
net or call 800-994-0302.
Big Town is back. Don't miss premier gun shows at Big Town this weekend. Big Town is back for 700 tables of guns, knives, ammo, and accessories. Come and buy, sell, or trade. Whether you're a first-time buyer or looking for that special piece to add to your gun, knife, ammo, or military collection, we have it all under one roof. Visit our website at BigTownGunShow.com or call 817-732-1194. Premier gun shows at Big Town this weekend at the Big Town Event Center. Don't miss this show.
660 AM. 660 AM. The Answer. 660 AM. TheAnswer.com. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Reports. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. It's always great to hear from Eric Bowling. Great guy. Really a great guy. Doing a great thing. He's a good man, and I'm really glad that we can have him on the Wells Report here on 660 AM The Answer. So John McCain has returned and not voted for a clean repeal of Obamacare because he likes Obamacare and he wants Obamacare to continue because he's a politician and he wants to take care of politicians ad infinitum for the rest of the future of the Republic, apparently. He wants a 10-year phase out of Obamacare's Medicaid expansion. He wants changes to the entitlement program's growth rate, according to several amendments that the senior senator put of Arizona plans to file. He released a list of 3 amendments he filed this week for legislation the Senate is debating. The Senate is debating on whether to hold votes on a slew of amendments, blah, 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 blah. They're trying to get the skinny repeal thing done. That'll probably happen at 2 a.m. this morning. We're keeping our eyes on what's going on, but I'm so disgusted at this particular moment. I really don't know what to say. One of McCain's amendments calls for extending the phase out of the Medicaid expansion to 10 years. A bill that would repeal and replace Obamacare that was defeated in the Senate late Tuesday would have started to phase out the government funding for the Medicaid expansion in 2020 and phase it out over 3 years. McCain said that his timeline would give states more time to alter their budgets. Under current proposals, the federal matching rate would be dramatically reduced, leaving states to pick up the tab without the time necessary to prepare, according to a statement from his office. What's different between that and every other year for Medicaid? The answer is nothing. Another amendment would change the growth rate for Medicaid. McCain noted that Arizona operates one of the least costly Medicaid programs in the country. However, under current proposals, changes in the growth rate for Medicaid would punish states like Arizona, which has spent decades reforming the Medicaid program by cutting costs and streamlining services. Senator McCain's amendment would correct this inequity by ensuring the growth rate for Medicaid is adequately adjusted for inflation. Yeah, great. His third amendment would repeal a provision that would not punish Arizona for expanding Medicaid before Obamacare was created. He noted that in 2000, the state passed a ballot initiative that expanded Medicaid to all adults with an income up to 100% of the federal poverty level. It's not clear if any of McCain's amendments will make it to the final bill, which is being worked out. The Senate voted yesterday or day before yesterday to start debating an Obamacare replacement bill that passed the House in May. The bill will be stripped out and replaced with a final bill. The Senate is now trying to pass what's called a skinny repeal that moderates will only vote for if they are assured it won't become the law of the land, which is right up there with Nancy Pelosi saying, well, you can't read it until we pass it. It's right up there. Well, right down there. This is why I'm a conservative. This outrageous abuse of the American people is why I'm a conservative. Because every time these people pull off something like this, I am proven correct that the best government is the government that governs the least. Because they are simply not capable of governing beyond that very small, very limited level. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
Hi, everybody. Dennis Gibbs here. You know, the boat guy. Talking about boats, boating, lakes, marinas, and, well, if it floats, we talk about it. The advice we give is the best you will ever hear. They call it expert advice. Between myself, boating royalty, lake level ginger, and brother Strick, you hear only intelligent talk. Haha. Join us every Saturday at 6 p.m. on 660 AM The Answer, the Big Boat and Outdoor Show, brought to you by DallasBoatsForSale.com.
Attention business owners. Are you struggling while waiting for your customers to pay on their net 30s, 60s, or 90s? Can't get a business loan because you have no equity, bad credit, or no credit at all? Then you need to call AmeriFactors. Get cash right now for your invoices instead of getting turned down by the banks or taking out a high-interest business loan. There is nothing to pay back. We simply buy your accounts receivable, and if those clients don't pay on those invoices, we take the loss. You have already been paid. We don't give you funds based on your credit. We give you funds based on your accounts receivable. Go buy that new equipment, hire those new employees, or use the working funds to bid on jobs you never thought you could go after. With AmeriFactors, there is no more waiting for your customers to pay. We give you the working funds while we wait for the net 30s, 60s, and 90s. Fund your business today with AmeriFactors by calling 800-698-9150. That's 800-698-9150. Or text FACTOR to 41411. That's FACTOR to 41411. And simply click the link to call and get funds within 48 hours.
We finally have the home of our dreams, but it wasn't because we purchased the home of our dreams. It's because we purchased an ordinary home and hired the design experts at Adair's Fine Floors to make it extraordinary. From our complete bath renovation all the way to our sparkling new quartz countertops in our kitchen. Adair's Fine Floors does so much more than just floors. At Adair's, you'll find granite and quartz countertops, sinks, blinds, shutters, rugs, as well as a huge selection of wood, tile, carpet, and vinyl flooring. Adair's and their skilled installers will make sure your project will go as smoothly as possible from start to finish. The hardest decision you'll have to make is choosing from such a wide range of choices.
Stop by their showroom at the corner of Abrams and Royal in Lake Highlands and let them help you take your home from ordinary to extraordinary. Call 214-503-1324. That's 214-503-1324 or visit their website at adairsfloors.com. That's adairsfloors.com.
Hey, remember the mortgage meltdown of 2008? Have you tried to get a mortgage since then and been turned down? Or maybe you haven't even tried because your credit score is stuck at 585 or your tax returns have too many write-offs. Well, Cash Call Mortgage has great news for you. We've just introduced programs for people who've been told no. And what's doubly exciting is that we can solve your mortgage problems with no closing costs, no points, title, escrow, and no fees.
Wait, Cash Call, are you saying you now have credit and income-solving mortgages with no closing costs? Are you kidding?
You heard right. A credit or income-solving loan with no closing costs. Call 855-875-CASH, and we'll work with you to solve your mortgage issues. Make the cash call at 855-875-CASH.
First Mortgages, Impact Mortgage Corp., DBA Cash Call Mortgage, One City Boulevard, Orange, California, 92868, NMLS 128231. Equal housing lender, not licensed in all states, not available in Washington State. Call 855-657-9910 for licensing, terms, and restrictions.
That's 855-875-CASH.
Mike Gallagher here for Relief Factor. You might be asking, who should consider ordering Relief Factor? Well, anyone with pain that's keeping them from doing things that bring joy to their life. Maybe taking a long walk, not having the pain, riding a bike, playing golf again without pain, opening a jar or sewing or using a hammer, even rolling out of bed every morning without pain. For me, I had hip replacement, and then I had a little bit of a scooter accident in New York, left me miserable, aches and pains until I started taking Relief Factor. Heard about them on the radio. I started to take Relief Factor, a packet in the morning, a packet in the evening. You know what? I was completely pain-free. I want to prove it to you by you taking the 3-week quick start from Relief Factor. It's only $19.95. Do you know 80% of those who take the quick start order again? We know it works. So if your pain isn't worth the price of a cup of coffee a day to lower, then you're not in much pain. If it is worth it, try the 3-week quick start. ReliefFactor.com, ReliefFactor.com, or call 800-500-8384. Relief Factor.
Mattress shopping? You've probably noticed that the big box stores are constantly running sales. That's what you have to do when you're selling price instead of quality. At Sovereign European Sleep Systems, they don't have sales. Why? Because the quality of their product is as consistent as their pricing. So if you want a truly great mattress at a very reasonable price, you should consider the Sovereign mattress. A healthier, more durable, more comfortable mattress at a very reasonable price. Sovereign European Sleep Systems in Dallas and South Lake. Learn more at sovn.com.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. Now, The Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. And now it's almost time to do some real news after all the garbage that we've been having to having to wade through to be able to get some real news. We'll get to that in just a couple of seconds. Troy in David, Texas. Welcome to the Wells Report. Hello.
Hi, it's Troy. John David, I think that it's time for about 250,000 of us to show up in D.C. with signs that say no repeal, no reelection. You know, they're playing with fire. And what bothers me most is we have some good, hardworking Republicans who wanted this thing repealed on January the 20th, you know, and they're going to get caught up in all this. Let's not forget about them. But these people that are standing against it, the rhinos or whatever you want to call them, I think it's time for the ones who want this thing changed and repealed. It's time for some serious peer pressure.
I'm talking about, look, you know, what I'm saying is that we need to do something along the lines of the Bankers Box Rebellion. And that's where you go down to your local office supply store and you buy a 3-pack of Bankers Boxes and you take a summer vacation somewhere around July 4th. All right, probably be July 4th, 2018 would be a good time for it. And what you do is you get in your car with your family and you drive to Washington, D.C. and you get as close to Washington, D.C. as you can. You pull off the road, you assemble the Bankers Boxes, and you just leave them right there beside the road. Yeah. And what you try to do is you try to get all the way into Washington, D.C. and just drop off these Bankers Boxes. Just drop them off until the entire countryside is littered with Bankers Boxes. Because that is what it's going to take. These people need to realize, I mean, think of just how ridiculously outrageous this is, Troy. There are Republicans, in name only, but Republicans in the United States Senate that will not pass a repeal of Obamacare, even though that is what the Republicans ran on for the last 7 years, won't repeal Obamacare because they like it, and will not pass any bill unless they're assured by Paul Ryan that it won't become law. Then why are you voting? Why don't you just go home? Why don't you, all the way home. Just stop at your Washington, D.C. condo, pick up your clothes, and go home and stay there. I agree. I'm so upset I almost said the wrong word, Troy. Yeah, thanks, man. So mad. How dare those people say that I'm not going to pass this, I'm not going to vote for this bill unless I'm sure it can't be law. Then don't vote for it. And this is something else that just infuriates the hell out of me. The chairman of the House Intelligence Committee is accusing top political aides of President Obama of making hundreds of requests during the 2016 presidential race to unmask the names of Americans in intelligence reports. This, according to Trump transition officials. Intelligence Chairman Devin Nunes of California, chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, in a letter to Director of National Intelligence Dan Coates, said the requests were made without specific justifications on why the information was needed. This is huge. But we're sitting around covering Steve Scaramucci, is that his name? Anthony Scaramucci? Okay. We're sitting around talking, the Washington Post is covering Scaramucci because he's got a lousy vocabulary. Yeah, well, what about the former, well, I guess he still is. What about the Democrat National Committee chairman? Mr. Colorful himself. What about him? We have found evidence that current and former government officials had easy access to U.S. personal information. And it's possible that they use this information to achieve partisan political purposes, including selective anonymous leaking of such information. You know how this works, right? They record a foreign national speaking with an American. In the transcripts, the American's identity is supposedly masked so that it cannot be known because it's not why they are recording the conversation. So it's not wiretapping an American citizen. Now, if an intelligence officer says, I need to know who that person was so I have some sort of context for the conversation, why would an American be talking to this person about this subject? Oh, well, okay, I got it now. And then they remask it and it's over. But if you take United States intelligence information and you unmask it for political purposes, what you end up with is spying on American citizens without warrants. Oh, yeah. They got a FISA warrant to be able to listen in on conversations of foreign nationals. They got a FISA warrant for that. But they don't have a FISA warrant to bug you or any other American citizen. We have found evidence that current and former government officials had easy access to U.S. personal information, and that it is possible that they use this information to achieve partisan political purposes, including the selective, anonymous leaking of such information. This information was used by Susan Rice to create a spreadsheet of Trump associates in the campaign and in the transition to be able to track them around Washington, D.C., using their cell phones, because that's the only way you can do it. Knowing where they have lunch, who they're having lunch with. Now remember, the Watergate break-in was to try to get some kind of strategic information about how the Democrats were going to face off against President Nixon. This is a full-on espionage campaign by the Obama administration against people in the United States without warrants for political purposes. This is an obscene abuse of Americans and American law and all of it. In March, Nunes disclosed he had seen data suggesting Trump campaign and transition officials were having their names unmasked by departing officials in the Obama White House. National Security Advisor Susan Rice, CIA Director John Brennan have acknowledged making such requests, though they insisted the requests were for legitimate work reasons. Nunes recused himself from the committee's work on its investigation over Russian meddling in the 2016 campaign after a controversy over his charges about Obama-era unmasking. How convenient. The chairman reviewed intelligence reports on White House grounds that he said showed unmasking of Trump officials by Obama aides. Democrats accused him of working with the White House to make the disclosures. I don't care what the Democrats accused him of. In Thursday's letter, Nunes said the total requests for America's names by Obama political aides numbered in the hundreds during Obama's last year in office and often lacked a specific intelligence community justification. He called the lack of proper justifications a serious deficiency. I called them by a different name, a plain and obvious felony. His letter noted requests from senior government officials, unlike career intelligence analysts, made remarkably few individualized justifications for access. The committee has learned that one official, whose position had no apparent intelligence-related function, made hundreds of unmasking requests during the final year of the Obama administration. Of those requests, only one offered a justification that was not boilerplate. Sources familiar with the Nunes letter identified the official as then UN Ambassador Samantha Power. She's right in the middle of all of this. Power is not possible. She simply is not able to respond for a comment. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can say. Nunes wrote that the Obama-era officials sought the identities of Trump transition officials within intelligence reports. That's using U.S. intelligence. U.S. intel against American citizens for political purposes. Ordinarily, Americans whose email or phone data or conversations are intercepted by the NSA without a warrant overseas are legally required to have their names redacted or masked with descriptions like U.S. person number 1 to protect their identities in intelligence reports. But beginning in 2011, let's see, who was the president in 2011? What's his name? President Obama. Obama loosened the rules to make it easier for intelligence officials and his own political aides to request that the names be unmasked so they could better understand raw intelligence being gathered overseas. That's not why. That's not why President Obama was doing that. You know why President Obama was doing this beginning in 2011? He wanted to get to the bottom of leaks in his own administration. And he just continued it. So he was spying on his own administration. And when suddenly it became possible for him to do it with the with the Trump campaign and transition and so on, he just kept it going. It's the only thing that makes sense. So he spied on his own people. He spied on AP reporters, probably because of all of this take. That's how he did it. James Rosen, the Fox News Channel, and his family, by the way. And what he did is that as soon as Trump names started to pop up, he just kept it going. Oh, actually, I'm sure it wasn't President Obama that kept it going. No, heaven forbid. No. He was reading the Federalist Papers while all this was happening around him, while the evil aides and associates and advisors and so on and so forth, they did all the terrible stuff. But President Obama was busy polishing his laurel leaves. Our executive producer, Vicky Stifer, laughs at the funniest things. Because you could just see him with like jeweler's rouge, just a little felt cloth with jeweler's rouge, polishing his laurel leaves, put him on. And yes, I am Sarcasticus POTUS. POTUS Sarcasticus. Maximus Erectus Magnus. Sorry. Okay, so that now we know how it happened. So the president in 2011 said, hey, wait a minute, we can find out who's talking. And what we can do is we can track them around with their cell phones so that we can, if we have the AP reporters' cell phone numbers, then what we can do is we can track them and try to put 2 and 2 together. And that's what we're going to do. And by golly, that's what we're going to do when now President Trump, but then candidate Trump comes to town and so on and so on. And what we'll do even more is we'll send some Russian operatives into Trump Tower, and we'll get a FISA warrant for them. And that way we'll be able to listen in on what's going on Trump Tower. And unmask the people who are having conversations with those Russians, which is how we found out about Donald Trump Jr. Then we'll do it that way, and that way we can come up with something right there at the end of the campaign that maybe get people to stop voting for Trump, and that's, they're colluding with Russians. About what? They're colluding. Okay, about what? The collusion is enough. No, it's not. You got to be colluding about something. Yeah, if you are talking about not committing a crime, it's not a conspiracy. It's a conversation. It's actually probably a waste of time. Sort of like the conversation in June with Donald Trump Jr. and Jared Kushner. See all this? This is the real news. Hundreds of unmaskings of American citizens. American citizens appearing in official United States intelligence reports, unmasked for political purposes. They put you under the jail for that, by the way. This is the Wells Report.
Have you still not refinanced your mortgage? Well, soon you may be kicking yourself in the head. Hi, I'm Wesley Hogan with Westland Financial, and interest rates have gone up recently and will continue to rise, but they're still at historical lows. So don't delay. Let us lower your monthly payment, consolidate a first and second, pay off other debt, or drop you into a 15-year loan with no closing costs. That's right. Nothing's rolled into your loan. We'll pay for your appraisal, title, underwriting, settlement fee, everything. Do not miss out on this historic opportunity. Whether it's a purchase or refinance, you'll pay no closing costs. You won't spend a dime. Think about it. All it takes is a 5-minute phone call to find out how we can save you hundreds or even thousands of dollars a year. And by the way, Westland Financial now is proud to offer reverse mortgages for our clients over 62. So call us at 888-455-3669. The only way you can lose money is not to call Westland Financial. That's 888-455-3669. 888-455-3669.
Westland Financial Corp is located at 200 East Sandpoint Avenue, Suite 800, Santa Ana, California, 92707. Licensed by the Texas Department of Savings and Mortgage Lending as an SML mortgage banker. NMLS number 3304. Not all loans apply. Equalizing lender.
I used to love wearing dresses and shorts. Then I started getting spider veins, and even worse, those embarrassing, bulging, varicose veins. For a while, I covered up my legs. But then I discovered Vein Clinics of America.
Vein Clinics of America is the oldest, largest, most experienced vein treatment center in the U.S. And for 35 years, they've been the leading expert in the treatment of vein disease. Using state-of-the-art laser and minimally invasive treatments, they can begin restoring the natural beauty of your legs in as little as an hour with no downtime, and most treatments are covered by your insurance.
My legs look great and feel great. I even love wearing summer dresses and shorts again.
Make sure your legs look and feel their best for summer. Call now and schedule a free fast-track consultation to find out how you can finally get rid of those embarrassing varicose and spider veins. Space is limited, so call 800-780-1975. That's 800-780-1975. 800-780-1975.
Futures and options trading involves substantial risk and is not suitable for all investors.
Fire the stockbroker and hire yourself. I'm Larry Levin, and I've been on the trading floor for 23 years. I was one of the biggest traders in the S&P pit. I'm also the president of Trading Advantage, a leading educational firm teaching people how to become professional day traders. Now, for a limited time, I'm offering one of the trading techniques I use to make $1.9 million for free. Invest in and control your own future. Get started right now by calling 800-914-5567. Leave your email address on my voicemail, and I'll email you my free trading technique and daily insiders market report at no cost to you. This is the very information I use to build my fortune.
I was getting ready to retire. I still needed to make extra income, but I didn't want to work for anyone else. Because of Larry and his excellent instructors, I can trade successfully for myself, and I'll never have to work for someone else again.
Fire the stockbroker and hire the most dependable person you know. You. Again, call in the next 90 minutes. Leave your email address on my voicemail. 800-914-5567. 800-914-5567.
I'm Chris Walls, and I'm a truck driver from Missouri. For 13 hours a night, I sit in my truck and I drive. Out of boredom, I'll stop and eat. If I'm not doing fast food, I guarantee there's a bag of chips open on my dashboard. That was all until Andro 400. I started out 4 months ago, and since taking Andro 400, I have dropped 45 pounds. I'm sleeping better. There's no cravings. I actually don't even think about food. My knee pain went away. I've had some lower back issues, and I've noticed that went away, and I can only contribute that to Andro 400. One thing that Andro 400 said on the radio ad is it attacks belly fat. Well, let me tell you, it did. The second month is where I saw a drastic change in the size of my stomach. I've lost 6 inches. This product really does work.
So guys, if you'd like to experience similar results, then get Andro 400. The safe, natural, and inexpensive way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
If you're young and healthy, you don't need life insurance, right? Yeah, that's what I used to think too, until my brother died at 38. Joe left his wife with 2 kids, a mortgage, and a stack of bills she couldn't pay. Mary had to sell the house and move everybody into this tiny 2-bedroom apartment just to make ends meet. I never want to do that to my wife, so I got life insurance. I called AIG Direct and was really surprised how affordable it is. Just $14 a month for $250,000 of term life coverage. Listen, if you have a family, you should seriously think about getting life insurance. You'll feel a lot better having it, trust me.
Call AIG Direct for a free, no-obligation quote. The call takes less than 5 minutes, and you could save up to 70%. Call now, 1-800-700-6492. That's 1-800-700-6492. 1-800-700-6492.
660 AM. The Answer. The Wells Report with John David Wells. Must hear radio on 660 AM. The Answer.
The Senate voted decisively today to approve a new package of stiff financial sanctions against Russia, Iran, and North Korea. That sends the popular bill to President Trump for his signature after weeks of intense negotiations. Never in doubt, however, was a cornerstone of the legislation that barred Trump from easing or waiving the additional penalties on Russia unless Congress agrees. I understand that the president had some input on this bill, but I really wish he would stop ceding out presidential power, especially where foreign relations are concerned. You know, the Congress of the United States has no business dealing with foreign relations. This was a mistake. Provisions were included to assuage concerns among lawmakers. The president's push for better relations with Russian President Vladimir Putin might lead him to relax the penalties without first securing concessions from the Kremlin. Yeah, well, I mean, the president's going to make a deal. He's going to do whatever he has to do. But one of the great strengths of President Trump is deal making. So how about this, you ridiculous non-deal making politicians with bad ego problems? How about getting out of the way of somebody that really knows how to make a deal, right? And stop forcing him into saying, okay, I know how to make a deal, but I won't do it this time so you guys won't be mad. Golly, what a mess. This is the Wells Report.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business, so make sure that they create a positive impression with ReputationDefender.com. What the internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with ReputationDefender.com. Call 800-827-5948 now. That's 800-827-5948 for your free reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with ReputationDefender.com. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-827-5948 to learn more. 800-827-5948. That's 800-827-5948. Or visit ReputationDefender.com.
Attention business owners. Are you struggling while waiting for your customers to pay on their net 30s, 60s, or 90s? Can't get a business loan because you have no equity, bad credit, or no credit at all? Then you need to call AmeriFactors. Get cash right now for your invoices instead of getting turned down by the banks or taking out a high-interest business loan. There is nothing to pay back. We simply buy your accounts receivable, and if those clients don't pay on those invoices, we take the loss. You have already been paid. We don't give you funds based on your credit. We give you funds based on your accounts receivable. Go buy that new equipment, hire those new employees, or use the working funds to bid on jobs you never thought you could go after. With AmeriFactors, there is no more waiting for your customers to pay. We give you the working funds while we wait for the net 30s, 60s, and 90s. Fund your business today with AmeriFactors by calling 800-698-9150. That's 800-698-9150. Or text FACTOR to 41411. That's FACTOR to 41411. And simply click the link to call and get funds within 48 hours.
If you're over 50, a current or former smoker, or have diabetes and are experiencing leg pain or foot ulcers, it could be a sign of something serious. It could be PAD. Call the PAD specialists at Lamb Vascular and Associates today at 972-362-5779. Dr. Lamb has been on the Super Doctors list multiple years in a row and performed almost 10,000 peripheral interventions to date. Make an appointment now. Lamb Vascular. Experience, innovation, compassion. 972-362-5779 or lambvascular.com.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio. I'm Lisa Lissana. Hours before an expected vote, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell unveiling details of the so-called skinny Obamacare repeal bill.
Yet 4 GOP senators came out late today saying they would be a no on the so-called skinny repeal plan. John McCain, Lindsey Graham, Ron Johnson, and Bill Cassidy They wanted assurances from House Speaker Paul Ryan that whatever passed tonight would go to conference with the House to hammer out a more comprehensive plan.
Fox's Mike Emanuel, incoming White House communications director, unloading to a reporter for The New Yorker, accusing Chief of Staff Reince Priebus of leaking to that reporter details of a private dinner the president had with current and former Fox employees.
Scaramucci really let loose on several people here at the White House, saying about Priebus, quote, "They'll all be fired by me. I fired one guy the other day. I have 3 to 4 people I'll fire tomorrow."
Fox's Ed Henry, Fox News. We report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer.
If you're a CPAP user, soap and water cleaning may leave harmful bacteria, viruses, and mold that can make you sick. That alone will keep you up at night. Until now, SoClean.com is the world's first and only automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. SoClean kills 99.9% of all CPAP germs without soap, water, harsh chemicals, or even equipment disassembly. And now you can try it risk-free for 30 days. Call 1-800-953-4545.
SoClean changed the CPAP experience for the better. My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean's revolutionary design makes it easy to clean your CPAP and protect you against CPAP-related illnesses. Plus, SoClean works with all popular CPAP devices to clean them in minutes. It really is that easy. Don't risk your health. Call SoClean.com now to try it risk-free for 30 days. Call 1-800-953-4545. This offer won't last. Call now. 800-953-4545. 800-953-4545.
William Noble offers extraordinary estate jewelry, exceptional diamonds, and rare jewels to the world's most discerning customer. But did you know they also purchase jewelry? They purchase diamonds, jewelry, and watches in all sizes and price ranges. Here's William Noble.
We believe that if you have jewelry that you've inherited, you're not wearing anymore, that there's no sense in keeping that in a lockbox or a safe. Bring it to us. We can evaluate for it, give you options. You can always sell it. You can redesign it. You can even trade it. But we will give you the options and educate you what you can do with that jewelry and what we would do if we were in your shoes.
It's one of the many reasons why, for 34 years, people of Dallas-Fort Worth have trusted William Noble, providing the highest standards of design, craftsmanship, and excellence in luxury jewelry. And if you have a piece you'd like to sell, look no further than William Noble. Call them at 214-526-3890. That's 214-526-3890. Or visit WilliamNoble.com. That's WilliamNoble.com.
What's the scariest thing about going to the dentist? Opening your mouth or opening your wallet? Because just a simple cleaning can cost $100, and things like root canals can cost you hundreds more. If you don't have dental insurance to help, you should give Physicians Mutual Insurance Company a call. 1-800-200-9887. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps pay for checkups right away, so you can call today and get your teeth cleaned tomorrow. Plus, it helps cover the more expensive procedures you might need down the road. Fillings, crowns, bridges, even costly dentures. There's no deductible and no annual maximum. Your acceptance is guaranteed for one of these insurance policies, even if you're retired or on Medicare. There are no networks, so you can choose any dentist you'd like. That's right, any dentist you want. Call and we'll rush you a free information kit with all the details. 1-800-200-9887. That's 1-800-200-9887. 1-800-200-9887.
It's after 5 o'clock and you're driving home from another day at the office. Wouldn't it be nice if your advertising was working around the clock? And if you came into the office the next day with some new business to work on? That would be great, right? Here at 660 AM The Answer, we talk to business owners every day, and they all want the same thing, positive word of mouth. They want people talking about them in a good way. Well, we've done that for businesses all across the Metroplex. That's why you hear commercials from many of the same advertisers day after day. It's because advertising on 660 AM The Answer works. And we can do that for your business. Imagine your commercial running in shows you listen to each day, like John David Wells, Mark Davis, or Sean Hannity. Now, it's not right for everybody, and we'll tell you if it's not. We value clients that have the same high ethical standards that we hold dear. If this sounds good to you, go to 660amtheanswer.com and click on Advertise with Us, and it will give you some more information. And if it's a caller, shoot us an email. Thanks.
You've worked hard for retirement, so it's critical that you protect what you have. In 2008, the stock market crash wiped out 12 years of gains in 17 months. Could you still afford retirement if it happened again? That's why, if you're retired or retiring soon, don't miss this free Money Matters retirement seminar. Choose Plano August 1st or Fort Worth on August 2nd. Let Money Matters help create your path to financial peace of mind. Register now at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net or call 800-994-0302.
Be in demand with a Master of Legal Studies degree from faith-based Trinity Law School in Southern California. Our fully accredited online Master of Legal Studies degree is for those who don't want to become a lawyer, but realize that knowledge of the law is in high demand. An MLS will give you an in-depth understanding of legal documents, proceedings, and rights, all taught from the Christian worldview Trinity is known for. For more information, call 800-922-4748. Again, that's 800-922-4748. Trinity Law School. Be in demand.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans. Every day people ask me, can I still take advantage of today's low rates? Is it still a good time to refinance? The answer is yes. Now's a great time to call Quicken Loans at 800-QUICKEN. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.99%, APR 4.19%. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com. That's 800-QUICKEN.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
If you've got questions, we've got answers. 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. Hey, there's something that I want to talk about real fast here. We're talking about this political swamp, and there are a lot of things that are easy to see when it comes to the political swamp. There are a lot of things that are easy to discern that are, shall we say, swampy. Okay? However, there are some things that aren't easy to see. As you know, because on Wednesday we had a talk with Pete Sessions from the Texas 32nd. As you know, he is the chairman of the House Rules Committee. They're the people that set up how you're going to actually execute passing a bill. In other words, you set up all the rules for the debates and how much time every member is going to have and blah, 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 blah. Every piece of business that the House of Representatives deals with goes through Pete Sessions' committee, and he's the chairman of it. So when those people call me on the telephone and says, Pete Sessions doesn't do anything, Pete Sessions does everything, just so you know. That being said, part of this incredibly huge spending bill that was passed the other day, let me give you the exact number. It was like $787 billion, something like that. $1.6 billion of it was set aside to begin construction of the massive border wall. Yes, Democrats vehemently opposed the $1.6 billion outlay, calling the project a boondoggle and a pricey, antiquated approach to security, but meanwhile, their highfalutin
is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Reports. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. Hope you're having a wonderful evening. We are sort of kind of having a wonderful evening. I'm in a grumpy mood. I'm really upset. I have to tell you that I'm way mad. The reason I'm mad at Republicans. I think they're really screwing this up, and I'm really hoping that that what we end up with here is we end up with just some better people after the next election. That's all I can tell you. And then some better senators after the next election from that next election. And then from the next election after the next election. Because it would take, it's going to take 6 years to get rid of all the senators that have screwed up tonight. 6 years, I'm assuming. It may be less, and if that's the case, then it's only because God loves America. But I swear to heavens, to Betsy, if you have a moderate Republican senator in your state, find a conservative and send them to Washington. Man, what a mess. A few years ago, I noted with some trepidation and dissatisfaction that the Boy Scouts were under intense pressure from America's left and America's corporate left to allow openly gay scoutmasters into scouting. Foolishly thinking that the Boy Scouts would be against that policy, I contacted the Boy Scout headquarters in Irving, Texas, and asked for someone to join us to discuss this terrible, unjustified, and obviously intellectually bankrupt attack on the Boy Scouts. They refused me. They refused to provide a spokesperson. They refused to deal with the issue in any way, shape, or form. They refused to fight. I didn't put two and two together. I wasn't quite as good at it then as I am now, but I didn't put two and two together for a while until it came back around again. I did start wearing Wrangler jeans instead of Levi's because I stopped wearing Levi's. Because they were one of those organizations that had put pressure on Levi, or pressure on the Boy Scouts, saying that they would no longer send their corporate donation to that incredibly important organization. As you know, that battle was enjoined and lost, not necessarily by the Boy Scouts. I'm talking about the people who run the Boy Scouts. I'm not talking about the people who are Boy Scouts. I knew hundreds of Boy Scouts. They were all appalled by the situation to allow openly gay scoutmasters. Avowed scoutmasters, by the way. And what I ended up doing was I guess, as far as the Boy Scouts was concerned, setting them back on their progressive agenda. I was extremely annoyed when the major churches decided to go along with the process, would go along with the Boy Scouts. And I was somewhat heartened to find out that indeed the Mormon Church has gone ahead to disassociate themselves from the Boy Scouts. The Mormon Church is the largest church-based Boy Scout affiliate in the country by a long shot. They decided they would come up with their own program. Trail Life USA is out there now there are different organizations that have sprung up in order to fill the void left by the Boy Scouts' untimely and unnecessary self-immolation. The other day, the President of the United States gave a speech to thousands of teenage scouts. They jumped up and they shouted and they yelled, Trump, 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 and USA, and so on and so forth. It was great. The president said, hey, President Obama never showed up here, huh? Great big, huge, throaty, shake the ground roar. It was great. It was great to see the President of the United States engaged in scouting. It was fantastic. And rather than dwell on the positivity of that and how great it was that the United States, that the President of the United States had engaged with scouting yet again, the Scouts, once again belying their progressive, leftist hatred of anything that, and it's hard to say this, but smacks of American traditional values, wrote a letter to all the people that happened to be at the speech. Chief Scout Executive Michael Serbaugh, Chief Scouting Executive Michael Serbaugh wrote a message and posted it online. Quote, I want to extend my sincere apologies to those in our scouting family who were offended by the political rhetoric that was inserted into the jamboree. That was never our intent. Oh, really? Inserting any kind of politics into the Boy Scouts is just something we never intended. Oh, really? Did the Washington Post and David Fahrenthold, did they go out to the Scouts and say, what the hell are you talking about? No. Did Melissa Repko of the Dallas Morning News go to Irving and say, what the hell are you guys talking about? The president showed up. What are you doing? No. I know exactly why this Serbaugh guy wrote this letter. He was upset that President Obama didn't take part in the Boy Scout Jamboree. And he was stung when President Trump said, by the way, President Obama never bothered to show up for this thing, huh? He wrote that the Boy Scouts of America remains committed to instilling positive traits in young people. While we live in a challenging time in a country divided along political lines, the focus of scouting remains the same today as every day, which is a crock of crap. The focus of scouting remains making sure that thousands upon thousands of enthusiastic young leftists are raised under the auspices of a once great youth organization. But then again, this is part and parcel of the progressive left. It really, really is. I mean, can you think of another organization that instilled the obviously correct leftist values in thousands upon thousands of little kids in a country? Can you think of any other organization that did that? Isn't it strange that the chief scouting executive, made a whole bunch of, I'm very sorry about the obvious terribleness of all of this, when everybody there, and it's on videotape and you can hear it, screamed as loud as they possibly could in approval. Why would he apologize for that? Tell you why. Because he's an angry, bitter, progressive leftist who, like everybody else, when engaged with leftists, was left wanting by what the progressive left didn't do, as opposed to feeling fulfilled about what they did do. I understand this organization better now than I ever have. The way they've written this, like, for example, Trump broke with the Scouts' earnest traditions by criticizing his political opponents. He noted that President Obama didn't show up here. Is that criticism? That was a choice that President Obama made. President Obama was the president of the United States for 8 years. Never showed up at a Boy Scout jamboree? Michael Serbaugh wanted to make sure that somebody knew that there was something badly wrong with everybody at the Scout Jamboree yelling Trump at the top of their lungs and cheering and laughing and having a great time in the presence of President Donald Trump. For the longest time, I really felt like I had done Colton a serious disservice by not getting him involved in scouting. But you know what? The more I know about scouting, the more I realized I made the right decision. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
If you've got your sights set on a trip this year, why not celebrate
Could you come here,
Jerusalem's
please?
50th anniversary in Israel with Dennis Prager, Mike Gallagher, and other 660 AM The Answer listeners? Stand with Israel and explore all that it has to offer. From modern urban and political vitality to historic and ancient landmarks you cannot find anywhere else. This October 22nd through November 1st, come see the majesty of the Mediterranean coastline, friendly cosmopolitan cities, and the intercultural dynamics of Israel. With a cultural past that reaches back even before recorded history, make your plans now to explore Israel's sites like the Golan Heights, the Western Wall, Jerusalem, and much more. You've read and heard about these places for years. Now come and visit them for yourself. Stand with Israel this October 22nd through November the 1st. Time is running out to book your trip. For affordable prices and all-inclusive details, visit 660amtheanswer.com. That's 660amtheanswer.com to register.
You are about to hear from Dr. Douglas Howard.
After 20 years and tens of thousands of success stories, Balance of Nature is still the only pure whole food supplement available. Balance of Nature has served more than 500 million servings of fruits and vegetables. Don't accept imitations, copies, or substitutions. Our success stories are unique to Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. You'll know you have the real thing when you open the bottles and see, smell, and taste real produce.
It is worth every penny I pay because they really have made such a difference in my life. It is making me feel a whole lot better.
Even my doctor thought it was a good product.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you for free. Call now for details.
Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code 660AM.
Dennis Prager here. And for 2 years now, I've been telling you about my wife, Sue, who tried Relief Factor because of her knee pain, and it worked. This is before I ever even heard about the product. I never endorsed a pain reliever, but now I am. And yes, now I'm taking Relief Factor too. Maybe you've heard me call it a miracle. In fact, listen to what Amanda from Texas wrote. I was having pain in my left thumb area and left side of my leg from my knee about 4 inches up. After about a week of taking Relief Factor, the pain in my leg has gone away. And a few days later, the pain in my left hand is gone. We've gotten thousands of these testimonials, and if you're struggling with ongoing back or neck pain, shoulder, hip, or knee pain, or general muscle aches and pain, do what my wife Sue did. Try Relief Factor. Go to relieffactor.com or call them toll-free 800-500-8384, 800-500-8384.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I shopped the many highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $27 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-471-6845. That's 800-471-6845. 800-471-6845. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
You've worked hard for retirement, so it's critical
David,
that you protect what you
me
have.
play
In
coming back, or do you
2008,
want
the
to
stock
call
market
for it?
crash wiped out 12 years of gains in 17 months. Could you still afford retirement if it happened again? That's why, if you're retired or retiring soon, don't miss this free Money Matters retirement seminar. Choose Plano August 1st or Fort Worth on August 2nd. Let Money Matters help create your path to financial peace of mind. Register now at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net, or call 800-994-0302.
Hi, I'm Jim McCann, chairman of 1-800-Flowers.com and co-founder of Smile Farms. With nearly 80% of adults with developmental disabilities being unemployed in the United States, we decided to try and do something about it. Smile Farms makes a positive impact on the lives of those with special needs by creating meaningful work experiences at local farms and greenhouses.
To find out how you can make a donation and change a life, visit smilefarms.org. That's smilefarms.org.
Listen to us live on iHeartRadio, 660 AM. The Answer. The Wells Report. A daily good old-fashioned North Texas barbecue of anybody trying to take advantage of us on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Hello. And so, as you might expect, the Boy Scout rally, the Boy Scout Jamboree, where the President of the United States showed up, like many presidents have not, apparently. Someone asked about it and had to, and referenced the letter from Michael Sherbaugh, who is the Chief Scout Executive. Here's what the reporter said.
I want to extend my sincere apologies to those in our scouting family who were offended by the political rhetoric that was inserted into the Jamboree. That was never our intent. We sincerely regret that politics were inserted into the scouting program. This is the president of the Boy Scouts who apologized.
I was at that event and I saw nothing but roughly 40 to 45,000 Boy Scouts cheering the president on throughout his remarks. And I think they were pretty excited that he was there and happy to hear him speak to them.
Boy Scouts acknowledged that there was a problem. A lot of parents have expressed frustration in the wake of those comments and felt the need to actually write a letter about it. So does the president owe him an apology?
Again, I was at that event and heard nothing but a lot of cheering and probably one of the most energetic crowds I've seen in front of the president. And so I don't have anything to add. I haven't seen the statement from the Boy Scouts, so I can't comment any further than what I saw firsthand. And that was a lot of individuals, roughly 40 to 45,000 as reported, cheering the president on.
And so there you go. And there's the answer. It's very simple. She was there. I didn't see anybody upset. I saw it on video. I didn't see anybody upset. I saw the kids go completely crazy. Completely crazy. Having a great time with the President of the United States. And some sour progressive leftist named Michael Sherbaugh wanted to make sure that he crapped all over it so that he could maintain his proper status as an angry anti-Trump leftist, running the Boy Scouts of America into the ground. Eight 660-5759, 866-660-5759. You're listening to the Wells Report. It's getting tiresome. Could have been a story about the President of the United States having a great day in the Scout Jamboree, but it wasn't, was it? No, because what we've got to do is we've got to take shots at the President of the United States. Somehow we've got to turn this into a negative. Thankfully, Michael Sherbaugh was equal to the task. Good job, Michael. You're a leftist, all right. Just another leftist, progressive, anti-American thug running the Boy Scouts. But then again, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't seem to me like you want the kids to have fun. You just want the kids to be Boy Scouts so you can deliver them into the hands of openly gay scoutmasters. Well, you know, that's okay, I guess. It's perfectly all right, I suppose. I mean, it wasn't okay with me. I kept my 6-foot-tall blonde kid at home because I didn't know who you were going to put him in front of. And I had a lot of company, didn't I? Those numbers getting low yet? Must be pretty bad because you didn't even celebrate the fact that you were no longer encumbered by the Mormon Church. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM, The Answer.
This is Dan Proft for townhall.com. When you think about quality K-12 schools that put kids on a path to being successful, independent adults, do you think of gender-inclusive toolkits, opposition to federal law enforcement, and support for the impeachment of the president? If you do not, you probably were not at the National Education Association's annual meeting where the aforementioned matters were included on its 159-point new business agenda. In worldwide rankings, U.S. high school students do not make the top 20 in either science or reading and have dropped to 35th in math. The NEA put forward 159 new business items in Area 1 dealing with student performance, classroom instruction, or fiduciary responsibility. The NEA has affiliates in all 50 states. They take over school districts, subordinate intellectual development to political indoctrination, and purchase legislators who fund it all on your dime and at your kid's expense. So when the NEA tells you that their business is making your kid a sentinel of the welfare state, you should believe them. And maybe you should show up for a school board meeting too. I'm Dan Proft.
If you're over the age of 50 and considering buying an annuity in the next 60 days, I have some important news for you. Don't buy an annuity until you understand the pros and cons of annuities. A free book to help you maximize your retirement income from television host and three-time author Josh Melberg has been released. This book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms. Grab a pen right now because we are about to offer you this free book that unlocks the 5 little-known secrets we believe baby boomers and seniors should know before buying an annuity. Call 800-718-6073 now, and you'll receive a free copy of Josh Melberg's book, Next Gen Annuity Strategies Revealed. As a bonus, we'll also send you the #1 mistakes retirees are making with their investments today, and a free DVD on how you can get up to 33% more income in retirement. Call 800-718-6073 to have your free information kit rushed to your door. Again, that's 800-718-6073. Employees of J.D. Melberg Financial have the appropriate licenses for the products they offer.
I used to love wearing dresses and shorts. Then I started getting spider veins, and even worse, those embarrassing, bulging, varicose veins. For a while, I covered up my legs. But then I discovered Vein Clinics of America.
Vein Clinics of America is the oldest, largest, most experienced vein treatment center in the U.S. And for 35 years, they've been the leading expert in the treatment of vein disease. Using state-of-the-art laser and minimally invasive treatments, they can begin restoring the natural beauty of your legs in as little as an hour with no downtime. and most treatments are covered by your insurance.
My legs look great and feel great. I even love wearing summer dresses and shorts again.
Make sure your legs look and feel their best for summer. Call now and schedule a free fast-track consultation to find out how you can finally get rid of those embarrassing varicose and spider veins. Space is limited, so call 800-780-1975. That's 800-780-1975. 800-780-1975.
If you run your own business, when you're not on the job, you're on the road. In your van. Signs that say detour and do not enter are just plain bad for business. Well, here's a sign that's great for business. It says 0% financing and up to 2 years complimentary scheduled maintenance on Mercedes-Benz Sprinter or Metris vans. Powerful, capable, and affordable. That's Mercedes-Benz Van Power. With pioneering safety technologies and low total cost of ownership, Mercedes-Benz vans are the right choice for your business. Check out the full lineup of Mercedes-Benz vans starting at just $25,995. 0% financing and up to 2 years complimentary scheduled maintenance. That's van power for all. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Starting at price refers to base model Metris worker cargo van. Excludes all options, taxes, title, registration, transportation charge, and dealer prep fee. Please see your dealer or go to mvvans.com for further details and exclusions.
Hey, remember the mortgage meltdown of 2008? Have you tried to get a mortgage since then and been turned down? Or maybe you haven't even tried because your credit score is stuck at 585 or your tax returns have too many write-offs. Well, Cash Call Mortgage has great news for you. We've just introduced programs for people who've been told no. And what's doubly exciting is that we can solve your mortgage problems with no closing costs, no points, title, escrow, and no fees.
Wait, Cash Call, are you saying you now have credit and income solving mortgages with no closing costs? Are you kidding?
You heard right. A credit or income-solving loan with no closing costs. Call 855-875-CASH, and we'll work with you to solve your mortgage issues. Make the cash call at 855-875-CASH.
First mortgages, Impact Mortgage Corp., DBA Cash Call Mortgage, 1 City Boulevard, Orange, California, 92868, NMLS 128231. Equal housing lender, not licensed in all states, not available in Washington State. Call 855-657-9910 for licensing, terms, and restrictions.
That's 855-875-CASH.
This is 660 AM. The Answer. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. There's some very strange things going on regarding the president's decision regarding transgender military personnel. The White House was on the defensive theoretically this morning regarding President Trump's surprise decision, and why he announced it over Twitter and so on and so forth. And people are going, this is a bad idea and that is a bad idea, and why would the president do this, and blah, 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 blah. Let's see. The announcement represented a major policy shift, appeared to catch the Defense Department off guard, did not. Defense Secretary James Mattis was privately briefed by the president the night before. Administration officials could not say whether the policy announcement was made for the approximately 250 transgender people now serving openly in the United States military. 250 transgender people. That's very strange because, you see, the first time we heard about that, there were over 7,000 transgender people serving in the United States military, which was completely bogus. By the way, there was not any difficulty regarding explaining the policy. I guess the reporter, Jonathan Easley from The Hill, just missed it, bungled the coverage again. But the way it works is this. The Defense Department is going to get together with the president and so on and so forth, and they're going to work out a policy and then implement it. Okay, the president made a decision. Now they're going to figure out a way to implement it. It's the way it works. And for those people who say, well, what about the poor 250 transgender people now serving openly in the United States military? Let me read you this. Walt Heyer from the Daily Signal. I was once transgender. Why I think Trump made the right decision for the military. After consultation with my generals and military experts, please be advised the United States government will not accept or allow transgender individuals to serve in any capacity in the United States military. Our military must be focused on decisive and overwhelming victory and cannot be burdened with the tremendous medical costs and disruptions that transgender in the military would entail. Thank you. Walt Heyer writes, I think he made the right decision. As someone who lived as a trans female for several years, I should know. When I discovered Congress voted earlier this month to not block funding for transgender-related hormone therapies and sex change surgeries, I wondered if it considered how devastating this would be to the fitness, readiness, and morale of combat-ready troops. In July, the House of Representatives voted down Missouri Republican Representative Vicky Hartzler's amendment to the National Defense Authorization Act that would have banned the military from funding such treatments. Paying for transition-related surgeries for military service members and their families is beyond comprehensible. Perhaps they've forgotten that our military was forged to be the world's strongest fighting force, not a government-funded, politically correct medical sex change clinic for people with gender dysphoria. Gender dysphoria, the common diagnosis for one who feels at odds with his or her birth gender, develops from prolonged anxiety and depression. People are not born that way. The proof for a diagnosis of gender dysphoria is having strongly held feelings, but feelings can and often do change over time. The military is expected to prepare its members in warfare to kill, destroy, break enemies. The most important factors in preparing a strong military are not hormone therapy, surgical sex changes, or politically correct education. We need psychologically fit, emotionally sound, highly trained troops to protect our nation from its enemies. While countless homeless vets are currently sleeping under cardboard boxes or waiting for life-saving care from the Department of Veterans Affairs, we learn that transgender military recruits now qualify for preferential coverage for sex change procedures that are scientifically unproven and extremely costly. I myself was fully sexually reassigned from male to female and eventually came to accept my birth gender. I have over 70 years of firsthand life experiences, 8 years of which living as a woman, 20 years researching the topic, 12 years of helping others who, like me, found that transitioning and reassignment surgery failed to be the proper treatment and want to restore their lives to their birth gender. Transitioning is expensive, up to $130,000 per person for numerous body mutilating and cosmetic procedures over many months or years to fashion the body to appear as the opposite sex. Yet no matter how skilled the surgeon or how much money is spent, it is biologically impossible to change a man into a woman or a woman into a man. The change is simply cosmetic. The medical community continues to recommend this radical treatment in the absence of scientific evidence that people are better off in the long run being left alone. This population attempts suicide at the rate of 40%. Even after the full surgical change, they attempt to end their lives and at times tragically succeed. Over 60% of this diverse population suffers from coexisting mental disorders. Consider Bradley Manning, who's now Chelsea Manning, a former Army soldier who was so psychologically and emotionally unbalanced that he stole confidential documents from the military and forwarded them to WikiLeaks. The military is a fighting force, not a gender clinic. The military should not provide sex change surgery. Through my website, sexchangeregret.com, I hear from people who experienced firsthand how damaging and unnecessary reassignment surgeries were. For them, the sex change failed to resolve the emotional and psychological disorders that drove the desire to change their gender in the first place. Many write after living the transgender life for years. They write to ask for advice on how to reverse the original surgical change and restore their lives to the original birth gender, like I did, a process called detransition. Some service members will come to regret having undergone the surgery and will want to detransition. What should the military do then? Will the military pay for a sex change reversal? Failed sex change surgeries are also not uncommon, will drive up the cost to care for the military transgender population above the projected $3 to $4 billion 10-year cost. Beyond the financial cost, there's the question of the service members' military readiness during their transition or detransition. The process comes with a great deal of anxiety and emotional instability. You getting all this? I know of many people who struggle to adapt to the new gender role for years after reassignment surgery. In my view, as a former trans female who works every day with regretters, allowing the military to pay for sex change surgeries will make a mockery of the United States military. Advocates are relentless in their pursuit of making others via government and insurance companies cover the costs of sex change procedures. If the military had been forced to pay, the advocates would have used this as leverage to press every other entity, both government and commercial, to pay for sex change surgeries as well. As a person who lived the transgender life for 8 years, I can attest that assisting, affirming, or paying for hormone therapies and genital mutilation surgeries would not have strengthened our military. They would have only brought adverse long-term consequences, both for the individuals and for the armed services as a whole. Correct. This is from a guy who's been there. Conservative and religious leaders are saluting President Trump's very difficult decision to ban transgender people from serving in the military, ending former President Obama's quest to turn the armed forces into a social engineering petri dish. Todd Starnes wrote this. The militant liberal agenda not only savaged our moral values of the country, but imperiled the defense of the nation by adding needless confusion, complication, and expense. This was said by Robert Jeffress, the pastor of First Baptist Dallas, right down the street. Jeffress said people suffering from gender identity confusion should be treated with compassion and counseling, not exploited by the left to further a liberal ideology. Jeffress said people suffering from gender identity confusion should be treated with compassion and counseling, not exploited by the left to further a liberal ideology. Chief, to make America safer and more secure by allowing our armed forces to concentrate on decisive and overwhelming victory rather than serve as a petri dish for social experimentation. Jeffress continued. Among those who led the charge to ban transgender people from serving in the military was the Family Research Council. This is a very major victory for conservatives. For our military, it's a milestone from a standpoint of ending and reversing Obama-era social engineering policies that crippled our nation's military. That was according to Tony Perkins of the Family Research Council. Representative Vicky Hartzler of Missouri proposed an amendment to a spending bill that would have banned the Pentagon from spending money on transition surgery and related hormone therapy. The ACLU, the Military Association of Atheists and Freethinkers, were among those denouncing the president's decision. There's little justification to oppose open transgender service as well as full health care support for servicemen and veterans for full sexual reassignment, said Justin Torpy, president of the Military Association of Atheists and Freethinkers. This order serves to harm military readiness and deeply insults already serving transgender patriots in the military. The RAND Corporation estimates as many as 2,450 service members are transgender. Just a fraction of the 1.3 million serving in the military. In point of fact, they're more like 250. It's not about the individual. It's about the military. President Obama used the military for the advancement of his radical social agenda. This president is saying no. The military is there for one purpose only, to keep Americans secure. David French of National Review says, why must Trump do the right things the wrong way? I can answer that for you, Mr. French. It's very simple. This president is doing the right things, but in a way that is not appreciated by the mainstream media or the political left. The political left says, my God, what is this man doing? And the mainstream media mouths the very same propaganda and keeps doing so until somebody responds. Why must Trump do the right things the wrong way? He's not doing it the wrong way. He's doing it his way. He's the president of the United States. If he wants to use Twitter, why are you criticizing it? Oh, because you want to criticize the president of the United States. I got it. Is it something that presidents used to do? No. As a matter of fact, President Obama was the first person to use Twitter. Did he use it well? No. He just used it because he wanted to look cool. President Trump is using it because he wants to communicate directly with us. Which, by the way, breaks down the mainstream media's unbelievably ridiculous and unjustified full-on monopoly of dispersing presidential information. The president has seen other presidents struggle with the press that would report the story their way instead of the way. This president is trying something different. It's called innovation. This is the Wells Report.
Hey, it's Mark Davis from our friends at Simple Sleep Services. If snoring is a problem in your life, and if it's a problem in your life, it's a problem for everybody in your life, let's get the simplest, least invasive solution. That's what they did for me at Simple Sleep Services. What you have with Simple Sleep is a way to avoid implants and surgery and the CPAP device by just calling 469-685-1700. 469-685-1700. They're in Dallas and Fort Worth. Insurance covers most folks. It's the Somnodent device. Simple appliance. They make it for you. They did one for me. You take it home, you pop it in, kiss your wife goodnight, and silent night. Absolutely fantastic. Diagnosis from a board-certified sleep physician. They have a home sleep study, so you're not in some lab. Call them for more information. 469-685-1700. 469-685-1700. SimpleSleepServices.com. Wonderful people. I'm so glad I met them, and you will be too. 469-685-1700 or SimpleSleepServices.com.
William Noble offers extraordinary estate jewelry, exceptional diamonds, and rare jewels to the world's most discerning customer. But did you know they also purchase jewelry? They purchase diamonds, jewelry, and watches in all sizes and price ranges. Here's William Noble.
We believe that if you have jewelry that you've inherited, you're not wearing anymore, that there's no sense in keeping that in a lockbox or a safe. Bring it to us. We can evaluate for it, give you options. You can always sell it. You can redesign it. You can even trade it. But we will give you the options and educate you what you can do with that jewelry and what we would do if we were in your shoes.
It's one of the many reasons why, for 34 years, people of Dallas-Fort Worth have trusted William Noble, providing the highest standards of design, craftsmanship, and excellence in luxury jewelry. And if you have a piece you'd like to sell, look no further than William Noble. Call them at 214-526-3890. That's 214-526-3890 or visit williamnoble.com. That's williamnoble.com.
You are about to hear from Dr. Douglas Howard.
After 20 years and tens of thousands of success stories, Balance of Nature is still the only pure whole food supplement available. Balance of Nature has served more than 500 million servings of fruits and vegetables. Don't accept imitations, copies, or substitutions. Our success stories are unique to Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. You'll know you have the real thing when you open the bottles and see, smell, and taste real produce.
It is worth every penny I pay because it really have made such a difference in my life. It is making me feel a whole lot better.
Even my doctor thought it was a good product.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you for free. Call now for details.
Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code 660AM.
Warning. If you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $5,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-600-8199. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Credit Associates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-600-8199. That's 1-800-600-8199. 1-800-600-8199.
It's after 5 o'clock and you're driving home from another day at the office. Wouldn't it be nice if your advertising was working around the clock? And if you came into the office the next day with some new business to work on? That would be great, right? Here at 660 AM The Answer, we talk to business owners every day, and they all want the same thing. Positive word of mouth. They want people talking about them in a good way. Well, we've done that for businesses all across the Metroplex. That's why you hear commercials from many of the same advertisers day after day. It's because advertising on 660 AM The Answer works. And we can do that for your business. Imagine your commercial running in shows you listen to each day, like John David Wells, Mark Davis, or Sean Hannity. Now, it's not right for everybody, and we'll tell you if it's not. We value clients that have the same high ethical standards that we hold dear. If this sounds good to you, go to 660amtheanswer.com and click on Advertise with Us, and it will give you some more information. Then just give us a call or shoot us an email. Thanks.
660 AM. The Answer. The Wells Report. Must hear radio on 660 AM. The Answer.
Have you ever been to, say, for example, a convention of former Special Forces guys? Have you ever done that? It's amazing how many of them walk with canes from back injuries or leg injuries. 100-pound pack will eventually do in your lower back. It doesn't make any difference how good a shape you're in or even how big you are. At some point, your body's connective tissues will give up. I bring this up because lots and lots of women are getting into combat roles in the United States military, which require them to carry at least 75 pounds in a backpack. Somebody from Hot Air, Jazz Shaw, specifically said, "Excuse me, but are the recruiters for the Army and the Marine Corps telling these women that they're probably going to cripple themselves in the future?" Of course, the answer is no. Some you should think about for your daughter. The executive producer of The Wells Report is Vicki Steifer. Technical director, conductor of The Wells Report Orchestra is Magic Matt Swinning. I'm John David Wells. God bless you. See you tomorrow for another edition of The Wells Report.
The IRS doesn't mess around. If they want your money, they'll take it. They can take your paycheck and bank accounts too, even threaten your home or business. And it's about to get worse. The IRS just hired an army of new tax enforcers. So, if you owe back taxes, the smartest thing you can do is call Optima Tax Relief. Optima has access to a special IRS tax assistance program called the Fresh Start Initiative. And their clients that qualify are saving thousands, even tens of thousands. One call starts the process to stop the demand letters, stop aggressive collection actions, and stop that army of new enforcers from targeting you. But don't delay. It's important to act now while you still have options. Optima is A-rated with the Better Business Bureau. Optima has already resolved over $500 million of tax debt for their clients. Get your life back. Call now for your free consultation.
Call 800-711-5743. 800-711-5743. 800-711-5743. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Message and data rates may apply.
Attention, it is illegal to text and drive. So if you're experiencing hair loss and you want a permanent solution, please pull over now, because an incredible offer that could give you your hair back is just one text away. Bosley is the world's most experienced hair restoration expert, always pioneering the latest technology. And now, we're giving everyone who texts the word GROW to 543-543, an absolutely free information kit that reveals just how easy and affordable this permanent solution really is. Don't wait. When you text GROW to 543-543, we'll also give you a gift certificate for $250 off. Millions of men and women have come to Bosley for a permanent solution to hair loss. So pull over now and see for yourself how great your hair could look with an absolutely free information kit. Text GROW to 543-543. Plus, get a free gift certificate. This amazing offer is just one text away. GROW to 543-543.
You've worked hard for retirement, so it's critical that you protect what you have. In 2008, the stock market crash wiped out 12 years of gains in 17 months. Could you still afford retirement if it happened again? That's why, if you're retired or retiring soon, don't miss this free Money Matters retirement seminar. Choose Plano August 1st or Fort Worth on August 2nd. Let Money Matters help create your path to financial peace of mind. Register now at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net, or call 800-994-0302.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Rich Dennison. The Senate is still in session at this hour, working on the latest plan to repeal Obamacare.
Georgia Republican David Perdue says he's okay voting for a so-called skinny repeal, stripping some provisions of the Affordable Care Act in hopes it leads to negotiations with House lawmakers on a more comprehensive measure.
Fox's Jared Halpern, the leader of the Boy Scouts, apologizing for President Trump's comments in West Virginia earlier this week.
At the Scouts Jamboree Monday, President Trump did say,
"Who the hell wants to speak about politics when I'm in front of the Boy Scouts?" Right?
But speak on politics he did. A lot. Now the Scouts chief executive, Michael Surbaugh, has apologized to those who felt the rhetoric was out of place, saying it was never our intent and that the president's appearance was in no way an endorsement.
Fox's Gernal Scott. Fox News. We report. You decide.
This is 660 AM, The Answer.
If you've got your sights set on a trip this year, why not celebrate Jerusalem's 50th anniversary in Israel with Dennis Prager, Mike Gallagher, and other 660 AM The Answer listeners? Stand with Israel and explore all that it has to offer. From modern urban and political vitality to historic and ancient landmarks you cannot find anywhere else. This October 22nd through November 1st, come see the majesty of the Mediterranean coastline, friendly cosmopolitan cities, and the intercultural dynamics of Israel. With a cultural past that reaches back even before recorded history, make your plans now to explore Israel's sites like the Golan Heights, the Western Wall, Jerusalem, and much more. You've read and heard about these places for years. Now come and visit them for yourself. Stand with Israel this October 22nd through November the 1st. Time is running out to book your trip. For affordable prices and all-inclusive details, visit 660amtheanswer.com. That's 660amtheanswer.com to register.
For windows, siding, doors, and more, it's Best Buy Windows and Siding.
One of
the most common questions I run into out in the field is how can you sell your windows at these prices while these other guys charge an arm and a leg? There's a very simple answer. These big corporations have multi-million-dollar advertising budgets and massive overhead. Here at Best Buy Windows and Siding, we only do windows, and we do it very well and very efficiently. And most importantly to you, we do it very affordably. We offer 10 double-pane, single-hung windows installed for $39.50. Or 10 triple pane double hung windows for $49.50, installed with a lifetime warranty. If you've been quoted $40,000 or $60,000, or I've even heard $90,000 for new windows, do yourself a favor and give me a call at 972-200-4485, 972-200-4485, or visit our website at bestbuywindowsandsiding.com.
Best Buy Windows and Siding.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Manzeri, co-owner of Statewide Remodeling. It's been said many times, people believe what they want to believe. Many will ignore logic and go with emotion because the fear of loss is always stronger than the opportunity for gain. This often happens when choosing a home improvement contractor. People are swayed by some pretty before and after pictures and a convincing story accompanied with what sounds like a too good to be true price. They should be concerned with how long they've been in business. What kind of warranties do they have, and are they in writing? Don't get me wrong, price is important, but it should not be the deciding factor. When I started Statewide Remodeling with my partner over 23 years ago, we said we wanted to offer the best products with the strongest warranty at a fair price. I can tell you that is still our goal today. So if you need a company you can trust to install new windows and doors, exterior siding and trim, sunrooms or patio covers, or a new kitchen or bathroom, call us now for a free estimate and receive 23% off your whole project. The number to call is 888-270-7095. That's 888-270-7095.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. Always enjoyed checking in with Chef Tom Fleming at Crossroads Diner, Dallas. Breakfast starts at 7, lunch kicks in at 11, but after that, it's total freedom of choice.
You know, there's a lot of people that like breakfast for lunch. And so we sell probably 50% breakfast items at lunchtime.
No kidding. So if I walk in at noon, easily half the place could be eating breakfast.
Absolutely.
Wow. And a lot of those breakfast orders are my favorite on the menu, the frittata.
Oh, the Crossroads frittata with our house-made chorizo and goat cheese from the mozzarella company. Our house-made breakfast sausage that we make in frittata with horse and cheese, which guess what? We make in-house also. There's our vegetarian, which is very important. Some great fresh vegetables, artichokes, peppers, tomatoes, mushrooms, spinach.
I can taste it now. You can taste the great Crossroads Diner menu 7 to 2. Great breakfast and lunch at the northeast corner of Preston and Campbell. Ask about special events, rehearsal dinners, and more. Go to crossroads-diner.com for more details. Home-style goodness meets the traditional diner. Go to crossroads-diner.com.
Hey, for years now, you've heard us talk about the great success Genesis Back and Neck has with spinal decompression. Well, now they've teamed up with the medical providers of Elevani Health Group to offer truly amazing treatments for knee pain and knee arthritis. If you've been told you need knee surgery, or if you suffer from chronic knee pain, then listen to this. Frank Reed here to tell you about the gel injections that I got from the Elevani Health Group working with Genesis Back and Neck. These treatments are virtually painless. They work immediately, and the results are long-lasting. The bottom line is that these treatments really do work. My knee pain is completely gone. They can see you the same day in most cases. You don't have to wait months, and the treatments are usually covered by your insurance, even Medicare. Call today for your free consultation, 817-328-1922, or go online, Elevani, ELEVANI, health.com. Don't suffer with the knee pain any longer. Call 817-328-1922. 1922.
You can listen on the go. Find us on iHeartRadio. 660 AM. The Answer.
And now, America's #1 show on pop culture and politics. This is the Michael Medved Show.
And another great day in this greatest nation on God's green earth, a great nation where your elected representatives in both the House and the Senate were working late last night on Capitol Hill. And so was I, actually. I was up on Capitol Hill last night until fairly late at night and speaking to some of those elected representatives about what is really going on in Washington, D.C. I got to bed and grabbed the plane. I am home in Seattle right now and very eager to provide some perspective, and it's precious perspective, actually, from 3 days in Washington meeting with some of the most important and influential conservative voices in the country, and including some of your prominent electoral representatives. Now, I get off the plane, and I'm all of a sudden greeted by this new story, which I hadn't heard because I was on the plane this morning. But it's an amazing story about the Mooch. The Mooch, and I don't know what Chris Cuomo's nickname is, but of course he's part of a political dynasty. Chris Cuomo, the brother of New York Governor uh, Andrew Cuomo, and he is, of course, also the son of a prior New York governor. Yesterday, there was this long, involved, extremely confrontational argument between Chris Cuomo and Anthony Scaramucci, the Mooch, the new White House communications director. And for some reason, and it's something of a mystery to me. But if you, by the way, have a solution to it or you understand it, you can give me a call, 1-800-955-1776. Anthony Scaramucci was on with Chris Cuomo today. He called CNN and basically all but accused the chief of staff at the White House, Reince Priebus, of being a leaker. And it sounded a little bit like this on CNN